I'm going to be reviewing the Ride DVAs and the Ride Fames. The Ride DVAs are a more freestyle flexi binding kind of for the park, and the Ride Fames are a stiffer binding kind of for the all mountain. They are the top of the line bindings. Both of these bindings are on the higher end of Ride's line. They're both great bindings, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference. So let's start with the high backs. That's probably the biggest difference between the two. The DVAs have a much flexier high back. They move side to side. They have the slime backs in them, and the great thing about them is they give you the side to side motion, but when you lean back, they're stiff and responsive. The Fames are a lot more stiff, so they're going to be a little bit more responsive, but maybe not as good for if you want to jib around in the park and do boxes, although they would work. They're going to be better for, going fast down the mountain. The Fames have the sling back high backs, which are a little bit more stiff, but still have a little bit of play in them. They both are shaped for a woman's calf. They both have a smaller profile and are lower and have a flatter back line. So we're going to move on to the differences between the ankle straps. The DVA ankle strap's a little bit softer and more flexy. It also has a cutout allowing you to flex forward, giving you a little bit more play and give. The Fames are supposed to be a little bit stiffer. However, I think they're really comparable to the DVA binding. They both have nice play in them, and they both keep a nice shape. So the next difference that we have is the ratchets. They both have Astroglide, which is amazing. I've been really happy with it. You hate when you go to get out of your binding and you're in line and you get unstrapped, you think you're out, and you look like an idiot in line. So the Astroglide's been really nice. The Ride DVAs has the OG, which is really great, and then the Fames have the LT, which is really nice. The major difference is this ratchet's a little bit lighter since it's hollowed out, but it's not something major I think you're going to notice, and they're both really good. Release easy. Another thing about the straps is that they are really great in the fact that they are toolless. You can adjust them on the mountain over here. Usually you use a screwdriver. So that's really great if you just decide that they're not down enough. It's easy. You just flip this up, slide it down, and you can adjust your bindings. This one also unscrews. You don't need a tool or anything. You just spin it around, which is really cool. And you can change these straps out if you ran through them. So the Fames, the big difference with the Fame bindings is they have all the adjustability. They have everything that the DVAs have, but they have this extra included feature that keeps your binding open. So you can get your foot right in there and your strap's not going to get in the way like this. So that's kind of a neat feature, kind of an added bonus with the Fames. We're going to talk about the toe caps a little bit now. The toe straps are really great. You can wear them on top of your boot, or you can wear them on the front, kind of like a toe cap, which I highly recommend. If you don't have bindings that have the ability to do that, it really helps pull your foot back towards your binding and keeps your heel down. So I definitely recommend having them down like this on the toe part of your boot. Both bindings have the ability to do that. They both have the toolless adjustability, so you can change them on the mountain. The 2D and the 3D, the big difference is that the 3D is a little bit more conforming towards your toe, but they're both excellent and do the same thing. They're really sticky and they stay in place. So the next thing I'm going to touch on is the chassis differences. Both of these have aluminum chassis. They're super strong. They're lightweight. They're really nice. The biggest difference that you're getting with the Fames is that they have the Infinity chassis, which basically gives you the ability to adjust the size of this chassis a lot more than the DVAs. Which really can help center your foot in there and make sure everything fits right and make sure your ankle, your straps and everything are fitting center. So that's really cool. The DVAs, I didn't know you could change them for the longest time. They actually do have an adjustment. They have 3 different settings. You need to unscrew these and the holes are hidden. So once you unscrew them, you'll see there's 2 other adjustments. They're on the medium adjustment, but I did wish I knew that sooner. So there's hidden adjustments in there. But either one's great. The Infinity does give you a couple more options. This one just has 3, and the Infinity slides along, so you can make it any way you want, and it does give you more options. Another great thing about both these bindings is that you can adjust how the high back fits in your heel cup. You can adjust the angles right in here. So moving on to the wedgies, which I love. These both have 2.5 wedgies, which are amazing. They basically cant your feet in a little bit and it aligns your knees better. And before I had cans of footbeds, I was having serious knee problems, and these just completely took care of it and fixed it. They also kind of help you get a little bit more pop and let you have a wider stance. With a lot of the boards have more options to have wider stances, and you can do that without hurting your knees. The biggest difference between these wedgies, they're both angled at the same 2.5. However, I do feel that the Fames have a little bit more cush than the DVAs. They still have a lot of cushion there. It's EVA foam, and it really can help on those harder landings that you take on ice, or if you miss the sweet spot and land kind of in the flats, it can really help absorb that, making a really big difference. So they're both really nice. They don't wear out, and you can kind of see, if I turn them around, you can see how the Fames are a little bit thicker, and to me that's a big deal. So the last thing I want to talk about are the discs that they have. They both have aluminum discs. The difference is the DVA has a bigger disc, just the standard disc, which is still really great, but the Fame kind of has a one-up on it. It has a micro disc, which is not only lighter, but it also takes this binding, which is a little bit stiffer, and it allows you to flex and torque a little bit more. So again, one of those perks of having the Fames. But these are both great bindings. I really like them both. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them, and I hope you know a little bit more about the differences now.
Sometimes, girl, well, you don't treat me right. Oh, yeah. You're the reason you keep me awake at night.